Respected audience, Assalamu alaikum. I am Professor Shamsudjaman, Professor of Pathology. I welcome all in today's 47th lecture on pathology. Today, day 13 of neoplasm. Day 13 of neoplasm. Dear audience, in day 12 of neoplasm, I have told you about the laboratory diagnosis of neoplasm. I have discussed about supportive investigations and investigations for tumor proper. Among the supportive investigations, I have narrated briefly about hemoglobin estimation, ESR estimation, occult blood test of stool. Among investigations for the tumor proper, there is cytopathology, biopsy and histopathology, tumor marker, immunohistochemistry, flow cytometry, DNA probe analysis. Among these, I have narrated briefly about the cytopathology and biopsy and histopathology. Today, tumor marker, immunohistochemistry and flow cytometry. Tumor marker, immunohistochemistry, flow cytometry. Dear audience, now come to tumor marker. What is tumor marker? Biological indicators secreted by tumor is known as tumor marker. So these are the biological indicators. Biological indicators secreted by tumor is known as tumor marker. So these are the biological indicators secreted by tumor. Dear audience, suppose this is a tumor. This is a malignant tumor, and the tumor secretes some biological indicators. And these biological indicators is known as tumor marker. Now come to what are the different types of tumor marker. The tumor markers may be tumor antigen, it may be isoenzyme and hormone. Tumor antigen, isoenzyme and hormones. These are secreted by tumor and these are biological indicators. These are the tumor markers. First come to tumor antigen. Tumor antigen may be tumor specific antigen and tumor associated antigen. specific antigen and tumor associated antigen. Dear audience, now come to examples of tumor specific antigens. PSA, prostate specific antigen, prostate specific antigen. This antigen is found in prostatic carcinoma. Found in prostatic carcinoma. Now come to other examples of tumor-specific antigen. CA125. CA means cancer antigen. Cancer antigen 125. Cancer antigen 125, it is CA125. It is found in ovarian carcinoma. It is found in ovarian carcinoma. CA153, cancer antigen 153. It is found in carcinoma breast. CA99, cancer antigen 99. It is found in carcinoma of gallbladder. Dear audience, tumor-specific antigens, PSA, prostate-specific antigen, found in prostatic carcinoma. CA, cancer antigen 125, found in ovarian carcinoma. Cancer antigen 153, found in carcinoma breast. Cancer antigen 99, found in gallbladder carcinoma. Now come to tumor-associated antigens. Examples of tumor-associated antigens. CEA, carcinoembryonic antigen. CEA, carcinoembryonic antigen. Alpha fetoprotein, carcinoembryonic antigen, alpha fetoprotein, examples of tumor-associated antigen. CEA, carcinoembryonic antigen, it is an oncofetal antigen. This oncofetal antigen is found in fetal life, in the fetal gut tissue, in fetal liver tissue, and in fetal pancreatic tissue. This carcinoembryonic antigen is found in certain carcinomas. colonic carcinoma. It is found in colonic carcinoma. Pancreatic carcinoma. Now come to alpha fetoprotein. This alpha fetoprotein, tumor associated antigen, it is an oncofetal antigen. In fetal life, this antigen is found in fetal liver tissue. It is found in fetal yolk sac tissue. Alpha fetoprotein is found in certain cancers like hepatocellular carcinoma, and in yolk sac tumor. So these are the tumor specific antigens and tumor associated antigens. Dear audience, now come to isoenzyme. Example of isoenzyme secreted by tumor is prostatic acid phosphatase. Prostatic acid phosphatase is an isoenzyme. It is secreted by normal prostatic epithelium and it is secreted by the anaplastic cells of prostatic carcinoma. It is elevated in prostatic carcinoma when anaplastic cells of prostatic carcinoma invades the capsule or metastasize. Dear audience, this isoenzyme is elevated when the prostatic carcinoma invades the capsule of the prostate or when it metastasizes. So prostatic acid phosphatase is an isoenzyme. Now come to hormones. Dear audience, we know there are some hormone secreting tumors and this hormone secreted by the tumor is treated as tumor marker. Examples of hormone: human chorionic gonadotropin, HCG. HCG is secreted by trophoblastic tumor. Another example of hormone secreted by tumor, estrogen. Estrogen is secreted by estrogen secreting tumor of ovary. That is, estrogen is secreted by granulosa cell tumor of ovary. Secreted by granulosa cell tumor of ovary. So these are the examples of hormone secreted by tumor, and these hormones are treated as tumor marker. Now come to immunohistochemistry. Now come to uses of immunohistochemistry. Uses of immunohistochemistry. Diagnosis of undifferentiated malignant tumors. It is used to diagnose certain undifferentiated malignant tumors. Determination of primary site in case of metastatic tumor. Determination of primary site in case of metastatic tumor. Immunohistochemistry is used for therapeutic purpose. Immunohistochemistry is used for prognostic purpose. Dear audience, use of immunohistochemistry, diagnosis of undifferentiated malignant tumor, determination of primary sites in case of metastatic tumor, therapeutic purpose, used for prognostic purpose. First come to diagnosis of undifferentiated malignant tumors. Respected audience, there are some malignant tumors. Diagnosis of them is very difficult. In that cases, we can diagnose them with the help of immunohistochemistry, like carcinoma, sarcoma, lymphoma, malignant melanoma, etc. There are days, sometimes diagnosis of carcinoma become difficult. Sometimes diagnosis of sarcoma become difficult. Diagnosis of lymphoma and malignant melanoma a bit difficult sometimes. In that cases, we can use immunohistochemistry. Dear audience, you know malignant neoplasm of epithelial tissue is known as carcinoma. So carcinoma is a malignant tumor of epithelial tissue. Sometimes histopathologically carcinoma looks like sarcoma, and it is also called sarcomoid carcinoma. It is carcinoma, but it looks like sarcoma, and it is sarcomoid carcinoma. In that case, we can do immunohistochemistry for keratin. If we get keratin by using immunohistochemistry, the carcinoma that was very difficult to diagnose will be diagnosed as carcinoma if we get keratin. So when diagnosis of carcinoma will be difficult and it looks like sarcoma or sarcomoid carcinoma, in that case, if immunohistochemistry reveals keratin, it is carcinoma. So in case of carcinoma, we will get keratin. Now come to sarcoma. Dear audience, you know sarcoma is the malignant neoplasm of mesenchymal tissue. Sometimes some sarcoma become very difficult to diagnose. Whether it is carcinoma or sarcoma, it is very difficult to differentiate. In that case, if we do immunohistochemistry and if we get desmin, it is sarcoma. So when sarcoma is difficult to diagnose, in that condition, if we use immunohistochemistry and if we get desmin, it is sarcoma. So in case of sarcoma, we will get desmin. Now come to lymphoma. Dear audience, sometimes diagnosis of lymphoma become very difficult. There are differential diagnoses of lymphoma like Ewing's tumor, neuroblastoma. When lymphoma diagnosis will be very difficult, if we do immunohistochemistry for leukocyte common antigen, if we get leukocyte common antigen, it is lymphoma. Leukocyte common antigen. So if we get leukocyte common antigen, it is lymphoma. Now come to malignant melanoma. Dear audience, malignant melanoma histopathologically may be amelanotic melanoma, may be epithelial type of melanoma, may be sarcomoid type of melanoma. In that case, if we use immunohistochemistry for S100 protein, and if we get S100 protein by using immunohistochemistry, then it is malignant melanoma. So for malignant melanoma, immunohistochemistry reveals S100 protein. So this is the diagnosis of undifferentiated malignant neoplasms by using immunohistochemistry. Dear audience, now come to determination of primary site in case of metastatic tumor. Respected audience, you know there are some clinically silent cancers. Before diagnosis of them, patient may come to you with metastatic tumor. In that case, if we do immunohistochemistry in the metastatic tumor, we can say what is the primary site. This is the determination of primary site in case of metastatic tumor. Now come to examples. Presence of PSA in metastatic tumor detected by immunohistochemistry suggest primary is the prostatic carcinoma. Primary is the prostatic carcinoma. Again, in case of metastatic tumor, if we do immunohistochemistry for prostate specific antigen, and if we get prostate specific antigen in the metastatic tumor by using immunohistochemistry, it suggests the primary tumor is the prostatic carcinoma. Another example, presence of thyroglobulin in metastatic tumor detected by immunohistochemistry suggests primary is papillary carcinoma of thyroid. Again, presence of thyroglobulin in metastatic tumor detected by immunohistochemistry suggests primary tumor is the papillary carcinoma of thyroid. Dear audience, you know prostatic carcinoma is clinically silent cancer. Papillary carcinoma is clinically silent cancer. Before diagnosis of prostatic carcinoma, before diagnosis of papillary carcinoma of thyroid, patient may come with metastases. If in the metastatic tumor we do immunohistochemistry and if we get PSA, then primary is the prostatic carcinoma, and if we get thyroglobulin, the primary cancer is the papillary carcinoma of thyroid. Dear audience, now come to IHC, that is immunohistochemistry for therapeutic purpose. Immunohistochemistry for therapeutic purpose. Dear audience, you know breast carcinoma may be estrogen receptor positive. In case of estrogen receptor positive breast carcinoma, anti-estrogen therapy is given. With the help of immunohistochemistry, we can detect the estrogen receptor in breast carcinoma. If we can detect estrogen receptor in the breast carcinoma by using immunohistochemistry, then we can give treatment of the breast carcinoma with anti-estrogen. This is use of histochemistry for therapeutic purpose. Carcinoma breast positive for estrogen receptor, that is positive for ER, estrogen receptor, detected by immunohistochemistry. If immunohistochemistry detect estrogen receptor, then breast carcinoma may be treated by anti-estrogen. Anti-estrogen therapy is given to CA breast. Again, if breast carcinoma is estrogen receptor positive, positive for ER, detected by immunohistochemistry, then breast carcinoma is treated with anti-estrogen. Dear audience, now come to prognostic purpose. immunohistochemistry for prognostic purpose. Dear audience, you know ARB2 receptor. Overexpression of RB2 receptor is found in several human malignancies. And overexpression of RB2 receptor or protein suggests poor prognosis. Overexpression of RB2 protein. Overexpression of RBB2 protein suggests poor prognosis. And there are several human malignancies with overexpression of RBB2 protein. And this RBB2 protein or RBB2 receptor is detected by immunohistochemistry. If we can detect this receptor, it suggests poor prognosis. This is the use of immunohistochemistry for prognostic purpose. Dear audience, I have told you about the immunohistochemistry used for diagnosis of certain undifferentiated malignancies, determination of primary site in case of metastatic tumor. It is used for the therapeutic purpose. It is used for the prognostic purpose. Now come to flow cytometry. Dear audience, flow cytometry is a laboratory technique. It is used for diagnosis of leukemia. In flow cytometry, the cell membranes and DNA of the cell is stained. After the staining, the cell is allowed to pass as a lamellar flow through a laser beam, and the light scatter is measured by fluorescence impedance. And by using flow cytometry, we can detect the specific cell. It is used in diagnosis of leukemia. So flow cytometry is a laboratory method. It is a laboratory method used for diagnosis of leukemia. In this method, cell membranes, DNA of cell are stained. After the staining, the cells are allowed to pass as a lamellar flow. After staining, cells are allowed to pass as a lamellar flow. Cells are allowed to pass as a lamellar flow through a laser beam. If the cells are allowed to pass as lamellar flow through a laser beam, there is light scatter. And this light scatter is measured by fluorescence impedance. Light scatter is measured by fluorescence impedance. And we can detect detect the specific cell. Detection of a specific cell. This is flow cytometry. Briefly, again, it is a laboratory method used for diagnosis of leukemia. In this method, cell membranes, DNA all are stained. After staining, cells are allowed to pass as a laminar flow through a laser beam. And there is light scatter. And this light scatter is measured by fluorescent impedance. And there is detection of a specific cell. And this flow cytometry is used for diagnosis of leukemia. Dear audience, I have told you about the tumor markers. There is tumor antigen, isoenzyme, hormone. I have told you about immunohistochemistry. Lastly, I have told you about the flow cytometry. Today up to this, thanks all.